Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself, my enemy. Look out for yourself, but I am ready. This is the chorus of the song Enemy by Imagine Dragons and JID. And this song sometimes, maybe it's even the theme of our life, because we feel misery. We feel that the whole world is against us. We feel that everybody wants to be our enemy. Psychologists define misery as a state of feeling of great distress or discomfort of mind or body. Many of us would say, yes, I am miserable, I am in discomfort, I am in distress, even if we live in a world of relative plenty. We have beds to sleep, food to eat, a roof over our heads, the internet, the phones, the advanced healthcare. Yet, we still manage to create so much misery around us. If people from Jesus' time could be teleported to our 21st century, they probably would have thought they have arrived in heaven. But if we were teleported to the time of Jesus, maybe we would think that we are in hell. There is no internet, there is no phones. But maybe at least we would have a good reason to be miserable. In Job 5 verses 6 to 7 we read, "For misery does not come from the earth, nor does trouble sprout from the ground. But humans are born to trouble, just as sparks fly upward." But how we look at trouble and misery is another key, or is the key to our lives living misery-free. Because often we create a miserable environment unconsciously, and various reasons contribute to enhance our misery. Some of those reasons are, we buy what we want even when we can't afford it. We hold on to perfection even if we are not perfect, and we never will be, and only God is perfect. We go over and over the regrettable past even if we can't change it. We create in our minds future hells, and we feel sick in our stomachs. What if that will take place? We hold high expectations of others, and when they fail us, we are miserable. We often keep our eyes on the small picture and we focus on what we don't have, while we hardly remember the plentiful we have and how we can thank God for the plentiful that is in our lives. And if we're tired of living in misery, we can start making these changes today as we lean on God for every one of those changes to take place. And there are many ways to get rid of misery, but I will mention only three. Firstly, let's make conscious decision that we are tired living in misery. Let's stop telling ourselves, when this or that will happen, then I will be happy and the misery will be gone. The sad truth is, even if our desires materialize, we're still going to be miserable as the next, when this will happen, then I will be happy, takes place. If we wait to be happier when we won't have misery in our lives, I can guarantee that we will die as miserable mortals. Let's ask God to help us during our misery. As we read, people in Psalm 107 verses 13 and 14 says, "Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and God saved them from their distress. He brought them out of darkness and gloom and broke their bonds apart." And we need our misery, darkness, and gloom, these bonds broken by God too. So let's cry out to the Lord when we feel troubled or miserable. Second solution or way to get rid of misery, let us learn to compartmentalize. Often we feel miserable because we put everything, like our work, finances, health, future, dreams, difficulties, relationships, friendships, everything in the same container. No wonder when one area is affected, we are miserable about everything. Let's have different compartments for various items. And let's not mix them together. This is not a mashed potato that we mix all kinds of potatoes together. Sometimes we need to take a mental break from a certain compartments, and only when we do that we can find new and different solutions. As this saying was contributed to Albert Einstein is, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Or as Colossians 3 verse 15 says, and let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in one body, and be thankful. And the third one is we must accept that everything changes. People will change, feelings will change, situations will change, we change. What we feel today could be totally different tomorrow, or even just hours from now. Therefore, when we feel misery, our motto should be, this too shall pass. And 2 Corinthians 4 verses 17 to 18 matches this motto. It says, for our slight momentary affliction is producing for us an eternal weight of glory beyond all measures, because we look not at what can be seen, but at what cannot be seen. For what can be seen is temporary, but what cannot be seen is eternal. And since we know misery loves company, let's intentionally avoid that company.